Hi there, I'm Caitlin Thorne and I am a data manager at the Museum für Naturkunde, or the Natural History Museum in Berlin, Germany. Today I'm talking to you about specimens, sprints and Scrum Masters, project management at the Museum für Naturkunde. I created this presentation together with Jessica Zimmerman, who is a media manager at the museum, and together we are both Scrum Masters in a project which I'm going to talk to you more about. Why does project management matter at the museum? Well, there are 5 pillars to a museum: collecting, preserving, researching, exhibiting, and communicating. Curators, developers, conservators, researchers, data managers all work together, and we have different professional languages across which we communicate. Museums are also becoming increasingly digital, and museum work is long-term, but often our resources are only secured in the short term. Museums aren't just about collections, they're a complex ecosystem of people, data, and projects, and project management can help us connect all of these moving parts together. So at first, we were presented with a challenge. Everyone was working in silos. We had multiple teams of developers with little communication between them. Our developers were doing great work, but mostly alone. They had little insights to what projects others were doing, and that meant repeated efforts and delays. Then in 2023, a cyber attack hit our systems and forced us to confront how disconnected we'd become. We realized we needed better visibility and coordination amongst the groups and the teams. So we needed to find a better way to work together. Following the emergence of a new project that required a lot of people to be working together, who were originally separated groups, we saw a need for better communication, visibility across the project, and transparency within the museum so that we didn't double work again. So we started to explore Agile project management. Agile project management is an approach that originated in software and is often used in development teams in software companies, but it's really about flexibility and teamwork. So Agile has quite a few different core values. These include individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. So this is the context of what we're doing. Our team is called the Digital Catalog Infrastructure, and we build and maintain systems that manage the museum's vast digital landscapes. So we have many different roles, priorities, and projects within this. As you can see below, I won't talk you through all of it, but it includes creating NURIs, which are basically QR code labels, creating a data portal to display our data and managing the databases that maintain this, as well as incorporating a media repository within the project. So we decided to go ahead with Scrum as a structure for our work. Scrum is a type of Agile project management. It uses short work cycles, which are called sprints, and we have regular team meetings, which are called stand-ups. We also have reviews and retrospectives to reflect on the work we've done and the teamwork. And there are a few core positions within the team. So we have product owners, which prioritize what the team should be working on. And we have Scrum Masters like myself and Jessica, who help the team to organize how to work together. Within our team, we also host meetings and we enable clear communication to overcome obstacles. So Agile in Scrum means working in short, clear cycles rather than long, rigid plans. And we want to have the ability to adjust plans as needed. This diagram shows the Scrum working method that we use in our digital catalog infrastructure team. We have our development team, our product owners, and our Scrum Masters. Our product owners and Scrum Masters uniquely also work within the development, But basically what we do is we have a product backlog of all the features that need to go into the project, and these are prioritized by the product owners primarily. We have sprint planning to pick the most important features of the backlog for the next sprint, and then these are broken down into tasks. We then have a 2 to 3 week sprint. And every day of the sprint, we have a daily 15-minute stand-up to make sure that we're on track to complete these tasks that we've identified for this sprint. We then put together working parts of the final product, and we have a sprint review to go over what's being completed at the end of the 2 to 3 weeks. And then we have a retrospective to give feedback on how we're working as a team. And then we go back to the start and we have another sprint. So this continues until we reach key milestones, and we continue to organize our backlog and plan our sprints and meet every day, and that's the whole process that we go through. We have had to adapt Scrum for a museum context in various different ways. So for example, we have 2 product owners and Scrum Masters rather than the typical one, because we also have other roles within the museum and within the project. So we want to still use our expertise effectively. We also don't use story points to quantify tasks. These are ways to basically measure how much time a task will take or how difficult it is. But these were difficult to estimate, and we have a lot of dependencies in the public sector. This goes on to the point below that we don't always finish all of our tasks in one sprint. We push unfinished tasks to the next sprint, or we take them out if we have too many dependencies, for example, such as on other departments who aren't working Agile. We can often be waiting a little longer. So we have to be fluid and be able to move those around. We also do value documentation. As we had a cyber attack, we know what it's like to lose things. We also have colleagues with temporary contracts, so we do want to document what we're doing so that it can be taken over by other people, or we can understand it later if we come back to something, so we do that. And we're currently working in 3-week sprints, but we have room to adjust. We tried 2 weeks in the past. Sometimes people go on holiday, or we have like summer holiday periods where we'll have 4-week sprints. So we didn't copy Scrum exactly, we just translated it. We made it make sense for our museum context. Our successes since using Scrum have been that we have clearer communication amongst developers, we have a shared awareness of different projects, we have faster coordination when problems arise as we have our daily meetings. We have more teamwork as we are meeting daily, and accountability. We have great structures for reflection on what we're doing. At the end of every sprint cycle, like I said, we have retrospectives, so we have guided processes for this. Of course, we had some growing pains along the way, so there were complaints of too many meetings at the start, although now I think people really like them because we have even more spontaneous meetings for extra collaboration and communication. It took a lot of work to break down all the tasks for the backlog. There was a lot of Agile jargon to get used to that you might have even seen in this presentation. We're also the only team in our museum working Agile. And we had to merge previously independent teams together. But some things we've learned from this are that external trainers can be very valuable. We had some training sessions for the whole team. That was a great help to start us off. And you don't need to apply the entire Scrum framework at once. You can adapt methods to your institution and tailor it to your context, focusing on what your team needs. For example, our team needed some cohesiveness. Maybe other teams want to just get really fast products out so they could apply those aspects. We think that Agile can work anywhere, including a museum. And we bridged a traditional research-focused workplace with modern development methods through Agile and through Scrum. Thank you so much for listening. We would love to hear your thoughts. Does your team use Agile? Could it benefit from Agile project management or Scrum? Feel free to get in contact and email myself or Jessica for any questions or discussion.